So my buddy told me this expression the other day, and this was like the first time I've heard this before. I'm pretty young, so I guess this is a very old expression. And when I was growing up in another country, not in the United States. So I wasn't very familiar with this culture here. So I'm still learning the English language and the culture about this country as I'm going along. And the expression was, good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men, and strong men create good times. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard this before. If you haven't, then well, this is you and I are on the same page. Then you are the only one on this boat. And it really got me thinking, because right now, if you think about it, if you look around in the United States, not necessarily the whole West, but more so in the United States, we're actually living in a big bubble. Everything is honky-dory, everything is happy and dandy, sunshine and roses. Trump kind of took care of the unemployment rate. That's all-time low right now. Poverty, we kind of don't really have any poverty around us if you look at it. Even like the really poor states or poor areas, they're getting government funded food stamps and living Section 8 situations, all that. Colleges, people are going to colleges. College is like the biggest safe bubble there's out there, you know. You take some student loans and your life is pretty set. Government is paying, or student loans paying for everything, your food, your living, your tuition, everything. You don't even need to have a job when you're going through school, and that's 4 years of your life that's set, right? So what happens to a kid when he's growing up? He's living under the parents' roof. Even if you're growing up with a single mother is at least putting a roof over your head. The safety is out there, the cops are out there looking out for safety and looking out for people. I don't know who this person is. Looking out for people. So it's not like we have tigers and elephants and other big animals running around endangering people's lives. It's not like the purge broke out where everybody's unsafe. Yeah, there's robberies. Yeah, there's kidnapping, murder happening here and there. But I mean, there's always going to be good and bad people. And bad people will always be doing bad things, regardless of how secure you make the security system. So that's never going to change in this earth. So that's bringing that point up is kind of irrelevant. But overall, we're pretty much living in a very safe environment in the United States. You know, cops are doing their jobs. We have the military who's taking care of us, making sure we're safe. So the kid who's growing up, all he has to worry about is food and shelter and education, quote unquote education, the public school education that you get, whatever you're learning there, which is nothing. Public schools don't teach your kids anything that kid really needs to know. And so yeah, even if the kid is living with a single mother, it's pretty easy for him, you know. He probably doesn't even have to have a job and go out and make money. Sometimes kids do at age 16 once they become legal to work. In some states, sometimes I think it's 18. I don't know what each state laws are. So whatever the age of work is, like whenever you're legally allowed to work, some kids jump into the workforce and start making some extra cash in the family if they have a single mother, or just to help the family out, their father out, whatever. But it's not like backbreaking work, right? It's like fast food job, like odd job, you know, what you call it, retail store job, or like greeting job, car wash, things like that. Nothing too serious. It's not like they're working 40 hours a week, none of that. Life is pretty set, pretty easy. And what they're worrying about is relationships. Girls are worried about cute boys. Boys are worried about getting laid. These are the things that's going through their head. They have no idea about the future. They're not thinking about the future because they know that it's pretty set and easy for them. All they have to do is go to college and go through some worthless degree and get out of college with tons of student loan debt, and somebody will hire them for $20,000, $30,000 a year, which they know is plenty to live off of because they have seen their single mother do the same thing. Their single mother didn't have any drive in their life to do better, so she was just going with the bare minimum. And they also know that if their single mother, they also know that if they do get stuck in the life, they can just apply for government assistance, and they'll get that because their single mother was getting the same thing. And even not just single mothers, single fathers too. So what happens with the kid's mind? He's filling his mind up with useless thoughts. He's thinking about useless stuff. He's thinking about how many likes are we gonna get? Am I gonna get on my pictures? He's thinking about, okay, how many girls am I gonna pick up at the club this weekend? Things like that. He's thinking about, okay, what am I gonna say when I walk up to this girl? This is what most young men are thinking about. Getting laid, getting with the female, having a relationship, things like that. I've told you that, guys, this plenty of times. The power of procreation, the drive to procreate, is the strongest drive that we have as a humankind, as human beings. And guys, you guys already know, we're always turned on. We see somebody who looks nice walk by us. Oh man, I want that. Let me jump on that. So that's where society is heading. That's where we are. Because times are so good, everything is taken care of so well. Your food, your shelter, your security, your income. Even though it's bare minimum, even though it's a very complacent and comfortable life you're living, a very lazy life you're living. You know, guys don't even go out and work out. And even if you're at the gym, I see guys on their phone wasting their time. You're not really serious about your workouts when you're at the gym. So they don't even care about their looks and their health that much anymore, because they're so lazy and complacent. And they're being taught this. I'm not blaming guys on this video, obviously. It's because this is what we're being taught. This is what we're being told. We're being told to go to college. We're being told that life is going to be just hunky-dory after you go to college. All you got to do is get a degree, get a job, and then you'll find that right person, and then you'll settle down with them in your white picket fence family house with the white dog, right? With the golden retriever, and whatever other dog you want to get with 2, 3, 5 kids. That's what we're being told. So we're not being taught the right thing. So that's why I'm not going to blame any guy on here. Again, I don't even blame women for what they do on this channel. I tell you guys what they do. I tell you guys how they think. But I don't blame them for that, because this is feminism's fault. That's what they have been told as well. That's what they were taught. Just like how we're being taught to not be masculine. We're being taught that being masculine is toxic. We're being taught that we have to care more about our feelings than what's right and what's wrong. You know, we gotta be the white knight for her. We gotta suck up to her. We gotta kiss her rear end. We gotta shower her with compliments and flowers and this and that. We can't be competitive. That's because that's toxic. Like what? It's in our nature to be toxic. When little boys in elementary school start running around and pushing each other off and fighting with each other, people call that, oh, people say that, oh, we need to put him on ADHD medication, because that's not right. He's not supposed to do that. He's supposed to act like the girl over there who's sitting in the corner by herself looking out the window. No. We have testosterone, high level of it. So yes, we are supposed to be active like that. We are supposed to be competitive, beastly. And they're dumbing down that side of our masculine characteristics. So obviously we're going to grow up like cowards. Obviously we're going to grow up weak. Obviously we're not going to have any backbone. Guys can't even take any criticism, constructive criticism, or any kind of criticism. They start crying, they start breaking down. Anything happens, any kind of small hurdle they come across in their life after they come out of that high school bubble and they go into college, quote unquote real life, because that's what they think real life is. College is not even real life. That's even bigger of a bubble, in my opinion. After you get out of college is when real life really starts. You know, I've been paying my bills and I've been pretty much on my own 2 feet ever since I was 16. So I know what this real world is like. My mom didn't get any government assistance. She barely brought any money in just to keep a roof over her head. So I had to take care of myself. So I know what the struggle is, and even when I was living in the country that I'm from, even there I was doing. I mean, I saw poverty because I'm from a third world country. I know how this world really works. I know what's out there outside of the United States. But most of the people in here don't know that, and it's not their fault. They're not being taught that either. You know, get if they fail a test, that's how trivial, that's how small it has to be for them to break down. They give up. No, college is not for me. I'm going to drop out. If their boss yells at them one time because they did something wrong, all right, I'm going to quit. I'm going to put my 2 weeks notice in. Dude, look at your own self. Look in the mirror. Do some self-reflection, evaluation. Self-evaluation, do some of that. What are you lacking? Chances are it's not everybody else who's around you that's at fault. It's your fault that you're not. I kind of hate using that word, your fault. I don't like saying it's your fault, but you guys see what I'm trying to say here, right? It's you that's not doing something right, which is why your life is not going the way you want it to go. That's the bottom line. Regardless of what your surrounding is, whatever is happening in your surrounding, it's you who need to change that if you want to live a better life. If you're not happy, satisfied with your life. And for that to happen, it takes dedication, it takes commitment, it takes hard work, which in today's society, our weak men are not being able to do. Dude, you make your New Year's resolution that you're going to go to the gym and hit the gym. That's why all these gyms are getting flooded at the beginning of the year. You guys know that. And then 2 weeks in, it's empty. You can't even keep a New Year's resolution about working out. Nothing can be easier than that. I mean, yeah, I take that back. Working out is hard work. Yeah, I get it. But it's not as hard as making money. It's not as hard as doing well in your tests. It's not as hard as picking a STEM field major and going after that and doing well in your classes. I promise you that. There's way harder and bigger things in your life than working out and getting in shape. So if you can't even do this, if you can't even discipline your mind to consistently work out and consistently eat good food, keep your diet in check, how do you expect that you're going to excel in other aspect of your lives? It's just not going to happen. If you look at the rest of the world, you'll see that they're going through a hard time right now. You know, immigrants are coming in Sweden and Germany and some part of the European countries, and they're just making the whole country, the whole society, they're miserable. Immigrants are doing that because weak men thought that, oh, we're supposed to be nurturing, caring for everybody. Yeah, nothing's wrong with being nurturing and caring, but there should be a limit. You can't even, unless the country you're living in is super rich, like Dubai or Abu Dhabi, something like that, Saudi Arab, and you have just money to throw around in the air and just toss it and throw it on the side of the street, you shouldn't be bringing in immigrants like that, because then your whole country is going to be in crisis. Those immigrants, what they were doing in their country, the Muslims, they're going to be doing the exact same thing in your country. Your women are probably not going to have as much freedom, because now Muslims are walking around in the streets. And we all know that how Muslims view relationships, how they view women. I'm not even going to bring that up in this video. You can look it up on your own time. So yeah, you can bring all these immigrants in to help them out, but it's going to actually bite you back in your rear end at the end of the day. So now they're going through hard times because their weak men already created the hard times that they have to go through now. Chile, Ukraine, all these Eastern European poor countries, third world countries. China is even going through a hard time. Hong Kong. Look up these countries. Look at what they're going through. I'm not gonna bring up and talk about all that in this video. That's not the type of videos I make. I give you my opinion. You can look it up on your own time. If you can take you can take my opinion or not. That's up to you. So all these countries around the world that are struggling right now, at one point in time, they were going through some good time as well, which created weak men. Those weak men now created these rough times, these hard times. And it's men who's at the top positions of running a country, right? It's not women. It's men who's giving women this power. So if these men aren't strong, obviously they're gonna misuse that power. Obviously they're not gonna give that power to the right people, to other strong individuals. They're gonna give it to weaklings. So now they're going through a hard time, and they're gonna come out with some strong men after the end of this hard time. So you can already see that where we're heading, right? Hope this video made sense. Like, comment, subscribe, share to the channel, share these videos from this channel. Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and above all, fellas, stay classy.